Okay, here we go.
To press play really quick, I can now press spacebar and I can jump. So,
Okay.
comment that out,
Did I do that?
and we'll just simply select jump, and this will do the jumping for us. Click, and we'll type jump, jump, and we'll choose the action event. Right now, Unreal has a lot of built-in movement capabilities, so one of those includes a jump function, so we can drag off and type jump, and we'll just simply select jump, and this will do the jumping for us. Now off of released, we want to say stop jumping, and just like that, we've got our basic jumping set up. So we can comment that out, calling it jump. Right, so if I were to press play really quick, I can now press spacebar and I can jump. So, next thing we're going to add is the crouching. Alright, so to do that, let's right click, type crouch, and we'll choose the action event.
Alright.
Now you may have just noticed that it was showing another type of crouch, and that's because there is a built-in function for this as well. So again, we can type crouch, and we'll say crouch, and then on released, we will say uncrouch.
Uncrouched. Okay. Eh. That's grammatically incorrect, sir.
Right, so now the way that our crouching will work for right now is we will have to hold the crouch button to be able to, crouch, and then as soon as we release it, we will uncrouch.
Yeah.
So if that's something that you want, awesome. But I think I'm actually going to set it up to be toggleable, right? So you don't have to hold it down the whole time, just because it'll be a little nicer that way. So to do this, we will hold Alt and click to break this link, and off of pressed, we'll drag out and say branch. All right, and we'll break this link as well to create some space. And what we want to do is we want to get our character movement.
Ah! Branch. Okay.
And we want to check is branch. All right, and we'll break this link as well to create some space. And what we want to do is we want to get our character movement, and we want to check is.
Guess that's what he typed in?
What we want to do is we want to get our character movement,
Oh.
and we want to check is crouching. Alright.
Character movement. We want to check is crouching. Hidden dragon. Ah! Ah! Ah. You be quiet. What's your bookish? What's your sugar bookish? What's your bookish? All right. Don't destroy me with your tail.
Right? So if our character is crouching, right, if
Ah! Okay, we'll put that here. Take this over here. Yeah. Okay.
it's true, then we want to set it to uncrouch, right? And now if we're not crouching, we want to crouch, right? So it's kind of it's a little, it's a little flip-flopped, but
So what now? Okay. So we uncrouch. Okay.
basically it's just kind of if you aren't crouching, then do this, otherwise do that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
we can compile and save.
So when you hit the button, it's crouching. Were you crouching? No. Then start crouching. Were you crouching? Yes. Then uncrouch. I get it.
um, I guess another way you could do that is to simply use a flip-flop, and then doing it like that, right? Hooking up these two like this. But I guess I prefer doing it this way just because if you ever want to have an event that uncrouches your character, this will always ensure that you automatically the crouching states will be correct. All right. So there you go. A couple different ways you can do it based on your preferences. So compile and save, and we can
Make it pretty. Make it pretty. Make it pretty.
go ahead and comment this out, calling it sprint.
What?
All right. Or sorry, not sprint, crouch. I'm getting.
Dude, you are. Down. We'll call this the crouch. The crouching tiger, hidden dragon. Alright, I'm calm. I'm okay now. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm good. It's okay, Pookish. Not having a heart attack. You go sit down. Go sit. Go sit. Sure, you can go that way too, I guess. Dude, dude.
Getting ahead of myself. Next, we're going to do the sprint. All right, so the sprint's going to be a little more complicated, but I've done a previous tutorial on it, so if you want, you can go watch that. But I am going to go through it kind of quick, just for the sake of time.
Okay.
All right, so let's find some open space, and we're going to right-click, and we're going to type sprint.
Find some open. Find some open space. How come we never did comment this one on? We're gonna do that later. Sprint. Heard your repertoire and.
Now, Unreal does not have built-in functions for this, so we will create our own.
Okay.
Now, first thing we want to do is get our character movement.
Okay.
So we'll drag that in.
Alright, let's drag that in. Heard your repertoire and at the final bar.
And off of this, we want to set max walk speed.
Set max walk speed. Okay, pulls it up there for some reason.
Alright, and we'll hook up pressed to the set max walk speed, and then we can control W to duplicate this again.
Okay. We greeted you as around. No. Okay.
So that when we release it, we will set the speed back to his normal speed.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right, so now let's go check what our current speed is. So let's click character movement, and we'll go to walking, and we'll look at max walk speed. So right now it's at 600. I'm actually going to change.
Okay, let's do this. Good. Character movement, max acceleration, character walking, max. Max walk speed is 600. Yeah, okay, we're on same page.
Change this to 400 just so it's a little slower.
Okay.
So compile and save. And
Okay. So set that to 400. Okay, compile. Why they clicked off of it, I don't know.
now the default's going to be 400. So that means whenever we release, we want to set it back to that default value, and then whenever we're pressing it, we want to set it to a value higher.
Right.
So I'm going to hard code these to 600 and 400.
Okay. 600, 400. Okay. 600. I flow around the world in a plane. I've settled revolutions in Spain, the North Pole.
But later on, we might change these to variables.
Okay.
If we ever have like a skill, or like a skill you can purchase with some skill points to maybe increase your sprinting speed or whatever.
Yeah, get it out.
All right, but for now we'll just leave it like this.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drag off of here, and we are going to say set timer by event.
Set timer by event. Looks good to me.
All right, so the reason we're setting a timer is we're going to use this timer to decrease our stamina.
Yeah.
All right. So to do this, let's drag off of the event. We'll type custom event.
Custom event. Custom event. Okay.
And I'm going to simply call this decrease stamina.
Okay. 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 Stamina. Ja. Ja. Ja, for sure.
And we're going to change the time to 0.05 and set it to looping. So what this is going to
What?
do is every 0.05 seconds, it's going to call this event. All right.
Okay, so 0.05 and looping. Okay.
And that might seem pretty fast, but we're only going to be taking away a little bit of stamina at a time, so that the amount decreasing on our stamina bar will be a lot more smooth versus taking away big chunks.
Right.
But it's entirely up to you whether you like how you want to do it. All right. So next thing we want to do is we need to do a check. So we'll drag off, we'll say branch, and what we want to check is if our current health is below 0.
Branch. Okay.
Right. So as long as our current health isn't below 0, we are going to subtract some stamina, but as soon as it is, then we are going to stop running, basically. So to do this, let's drag in our current stamina, say get, and we're going to say less than or equal to. Right, so if it's less than or equal to 0,
So what now?
then we'll stop sprinting.
Wait. Oh,
But
oh.
if it's not, then we'll decrease stamina.
Pulled it up from there.
Let's drag in our current stamina, say
Yeah.
get,
Yeah.
and we're going to say less than or equal to.
All right. Current stamina. Let's make some room over here. Current stamina. Current stamina. Pardon me, Roy. Get. Yeah. Then we said less than or equal to float, right? Okay, and
Right, so if it's less than or equal to 0, then we'll stop sprinting. But if it's not, then we'll decrease stamina. So
we will stop sprinting. Okay,
if false, we're going to drag out, say set stamina, or set current stamina. All right.
dragging false. Set current stamina. Right? That's what he said, right?
And we want to set it to the value of our current stamina minus, so float, minus some number. All right. So I'm just going to hard code this to 1. But
Okay. Current. Current stamina. Not gonna problem. We're gonna set. Are we setting? Are we setting or getting? What? Current. What? Hold on. Hold on.
or set current stamina. All right.
Yeah.
And we want to set it to the value of our current stamina minus, so float minus
Did you
stamina.
say get?
We want to set it to the value
Yeah.
of our current stamina
Get. Okay.
minus, so float, minus some number.
Right. Okay. No. Wrong. Current stamina. Current stamina. Get. Right. Minus. Minus 1. That's already set to 1. It's already a 1 in there. Right?
Right, so I'm just going to hard code this to 1.
Okay.
But you can make it a variable if you want, if you ever want to change it,
Okay.
and we might do that later as well.
Let's just make sure.
Of our current stamina.
Alright, good.
Minus, so float minus float.
Float minus float, yeah.
Minus some number.
Alright.
Right, so I'm just going to hard code this to 1.
Why?
But you can make it a variable if you want, if you ever want to change it,
Okay.
and we might do that later as well.
Right.
But again, for now, just a value of 1.
Okay.
So
I'm going to do what he's doing. He says 1. Okay. I'll save.
File and save. And now for true, right, we're going to simulate stopping our character from running by setting their speed back to that default value.
Okay.
So we can actually select this, say Control C, and then go over here and Control V to paste it. Alright, and we'll hook up true, just like that. So we'll compile and save now.
Okay, so go back over here. Control C. Control V, yeah. And we're setting true to this. yeah, I did it. Okay. Okay. Okay, all right. This is I'm cooking with bacon or something. Hold on. Oh. Boy, it sure would be great if some dogs would not. Okay. Alright. Oh, why is my neck so... Oh, I probably need to hang upside down or something. I... Float around the world in a plane. Around the world. I've settled revolutions. Okay. Compile, save, and we are taking off. Taking off.
And the last thing we want to do for now, right here, is we're going to drag off of this return value, right? And we're going to say clear and invalidate timer by handle. Right, now it is going to hook up the node, but we don't want that, so we'll hold Alt and click to break it, and then hook this up. Alright, so basically...
Clear and... Clear and invalidate timer by handle. Okay. Alt, that one. Alright. And boom. Boom. We are amazing. Yes, we is. Okay.
Once we run out of stamina, it'll stop decreasing it. All right,
Okay.
it'll stop decreasing our stamina
All right.
by clearing that timer.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would just keep taking away stamina, and that's not what we want.
That's not what we want.
Right, so now we can go ahead and create the increased stamina, right? So once we release, we'll start increasing our stamina again. So we're going to do a similar thing. Drag off and say set timer by event.
Set timer by event, and he went over here. Set timer by event. Okay.
We'll drag off of event and say custom event, and this
Custom event.
time it'll be increase stamina.
Increase stamina as opposed to the decrease. Oh, we're cooking with bacon. We are just increase stamina. You have no idea how excited. Ooh, ooh, boy, I don't get that much. Isn't that right, Pookie?
Right, now this time, again, we're going to do a branch.
Branch,
But
branch. Okay.
we are going to check now if our current stamina, all right, get it, is less than or equal to
Less than or equal to
our max stamina.
Okay. So we are going to check if our current stamina is less than or equal to float by float. Okay. Our max stamina. Okay.
All right, so we'll take.
Okay. All right. Right. So max stamina. Okay. I guess.
Take our max stamina now, and we can just drag that and plug it straight in.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Get that and plug it straight in. That's what she said. Okay. I'm not that kind of guy. All right. Right.
Because if our current stamina is less than our max stamina, then we know that we need to keep adding onto the stamina. But if it isn't, right, if the current stamina is equal to it,
We need to stop.
then we want to, then we want to, I guess, stop adding stamina. Okay, so I guess just to keep it in line with how this works, I'm going to change this to a, is this greater than or equal to?
Greater than or equal to. Delete. This is greater than or equal to. Da 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 da. It had to be you. I suddenly found.
Same idea, just different order.
Different order, yeah.
Right, so if this is false, we'll drag off and we'll say set current stamina to the.
So false. Set current stamina.
Value of our current stamina plus, so float plus float again. And now here I'm going to use the stamina regen rate, all right?
Okay, so current stamina. Okay. We're getting plus a stamina regen. Stop.
Um,
Okay. Right. Okay.
yep, there we go, just like that. And now, if this ever registers as true, we will stop this timer. So we'll drag off and we'll say clear and invalidate timer by handle. Hold
What? Clear and that's on the handle. That goes there. This comes out. This goes here. We're predicting.
Alt click to break it and hook up true.
Oh, that one. Wrong. That one and true comes from there. There we go. Oh boy. Oh man, this is something. Let's compile and save in case the power goes out.
So the last thing we're going to do now is we need to just do a few tidying up kind of things. So one of those is we want to drag off of here and say clear and invalidate again, and we'll break that link. We want to hook this one up. All right. So whenever
Clear and invalidate up there. We are coming from here. Clear and invalid. Yeah. Right. Break that one and put that one there. Okay. Okay. And we're coming from the set timer by event, which is coming from that. Okay. Okay.
whenever we start sprinting, we want to make sure that this event stops.
Okay.
And then we'll do the same thing here. Clear and invalidate. Hook this up.
Clear and invalidate coming from here. Clear and invalidate. Right. This goes here. Because that one already has one. Okay. Right.
And now the very last thing we want to do,
Hold on.
we start sprinting, and we'll break that link. We want to hook this one up.
Yeah.
All right. So whenever we start sprinting, we want to make sure that this event stops, and then we'll do the same thing here. Clear and invalidate. Hook this up.
Okay.
And now the very last thing we want to do is drag off and set one more timer by event. Make sure the time is at 0.05, and then
Okay. What? Okay. All right. Set timer by event. Make sure the timer's at 0.05. Okay. Can I make this bigger? What?
hook this up.
Yeah.
And now the very last thing we want to do is drag off and set one more timer by event. Make sure the time is at 0.05 and then it's looping. And then we'll hook this event up to
0.05. What? 0.05. Oh. 0.05. There we go. It's looping. Alright. And we're going to have a long reach.
To our increased stamina. Oh, and
Oh,
I almost forgot. Set this to 0.05 and looping as well.
okay. To increase stamina. So, yeah. This is 0.05. And you're looping. And you're compiling. And you're saving. You were out for 3 hours, not 3 hours ago. So chill out. Go sit. Go sit. Alright.
Alright?
Alright.
And then off of here, we're also going to want to clear these.
What?
So hook it up like so.
What?
And one more time.
What?
Alright? And then off of here, we're also going to want to clear these. So hook it up like so.
So off of here, here. Clear. About like time by handle. There. Whoops. Alright, break that one. You come from here, you go there. Also here. Clear. Uh, break that one.
And one more time. Just like that.
The bottom one. Right. Which is that one. Oh, it's fun to make trouble, but when you can't handle the double, doop doop doopy doop boop boo. My oh, look at me now. Da, 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 da. Computer's gonna blow up anytime now.
Alright. So now if we compile and save, this should work. Alright, so
Okay.
just make sure you have all your nodes going in the right places.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and press save, and if we press play,
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, 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 oh boy. Boy, boy, boy. Duh, this computer can't handle this. Boy, oh boy, 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 oh boy. This computer can't handle this. Save third person now. Okay. 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 Let's press play. Oh, the shark bites. Alright. Do I need that? Oh no, I just look around, huh? Oh! This is amazing! Can we jump? We can jump, ladies and gentlemen. We can jump. Oh boy. Oh boy. What about this? Oh. Oh boy. What did I press? Let's say shift. What did I say? That's crouch. Oh, you have to hold it down? I thought we didn't hold it down. Something not working. Something's not working. I no longer can jump. Do 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 do. I can no longer jump. I can no longer jump. Uh, can I sprint? I gotta hold down the sprint. Okay, can we crouch? Nope. Crouch doesn't quite animate. And am I sprinting? No, and it's. Oh, this is amazing! Oh boy. Okay, go down. Go down. So if I keep holding it, alright. Drag back to the drawing board. Make sure everything's in the right place. Everything seems to be in the right place. I mean, who are you asking? Boom, 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 boom. It looks fine to me. I mean, it was pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not that complicated.
Now I'm jogging around right now. I can jump.
He turns
I can technically
around!
crouch. You see that? The camera drops, and that's because it's signifying that we're crouching.
Yeah.
And he's running slower now, again because he's crouching. And now we can go ahead and try the stamina or the sprint, and you can see there it is. It's working. You know, when we release,
Yours goes back
it
up!
goes back up, but as we sprint, it goes down, and then it'll go back up. So, anyways, that is everything. In the next tutorial, we're going to look at adding some like a player level kind of thing, like experience points and whatnot, and skill points, etc. And then later on a skill tree.
Okay,
and
so
such.
this one is over. So
thank you for watching. I hope this.
Let's review. Something went wrong. something is wrong, Martha. All right, here we go.
Previous tutorials that we've done on our RPG tutorial series, and we are going to be setting up some more movement capabilities on our character. So let's get started right away.
Right.
So with our character selected, we'll go to edit our character, and we'll come in here.
Yeah.
Now, first thing we're going to want to do is click on character movement, right? And we'll scroll all the way down until we find nav movement. Alright, and we want to click this little drop down here for movement capabilities. Alright, and we want to look for this can crouch, can jump, can walk, etc. Alright, so if we want our character to be able to crouch, we need to check this can crouch. And if we want him to be able to fly, we need to check can fly. Maybe that might be ridiculous, but I'll just check it just in case we ever want to. Alright,
okay.
So we can go ahead and compile and save. And now we're going to go add some input events that will allow us to crouch or jump or sprint, etc.
Yeah.
So to do that, we're going to go to edit, project settings, and let's go to input, and we're going to create some action mappings. So click the drop down, and let's add 2 for now. So this first one, we're going to call it crouch, and for the key, I'm going to do left control, and maybe the C key. Oops. The C key, that should be under keyboard. But you can use whatever keys work for you. I'm just going to use this for now. Alright. And now
to get there? How did he get there?
Crouch. And if we want him to be able to fly, we need to check can fly.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that might be ridiculous, but I'll just check it just in case we ever want to. All right. So we can go ahead and compile and save.
Right.
And now we're going to go add some, input events that will allow us to, crouch or jump or sprint, etc. So to do that, we're going to go to Edit, Project Settings, and let's go to Input, and we're going to create some action mappings. So click the drop down, and let's add 2 for now. So this first one, we're going to call it crouch, and for the key, I'm going to do left control, and maybe the C key. Oops. The C key, that should be under keyboard. But you can use whatever keys work for you. I'm just going to use this for now. Alright, and now for the other one, we'll type sprint. Alright, so this will be for sprinting. And for the first key, I'll say left shift. And I guess I'll set it up for if you're like a right-handed player, maybe right shift. And then I guess one last thing we can do is set it up to be or to work with a gamepad or a controller. So we'll add one more key, and for this we're going to say face button right, and for sprint we will say left. Oops, I'm not typing. We'll say left thumbstick down. All right. So this is going to be like your left analog stick. When you press it down, you'll start sprinting, and then the face button right will be like whatever is the rightmost button on the on your your gamepad. So for the Xbox One, I believe that's the B button, and then for the PS4, I think that's the circle button. So I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Anyways, so with that set up, we can exit out of the project settings, and we'll go back to our character. And now we can add these extra functionalities. So let's find some open space, and we'll add the jump event first. So let's right click, and we'll type jump, and we'll choose the action event. Right now, Unreal has a lot of built-in movement capabilities, so one of those includes a jump function. So we can drag off and type jump, and we'll just simply select jump, and this will do the jumping for us. Now off of released, we want to say stop jumping, and just like that, we've got our basic jumping set up. So we can comment that out, calling it jump. Right, so if I were to press play really quick, I can now press spacebar and I can jump. So next thing we're going to add is the crouching. Alright, so to do that, let's right click, type crouch, and we'll choose the action event. Now you may have just noticed that it was showing another type of crouch, and that's because there is a built-in function for this as well. So again, we can type crouch, and we'll say crouch, and then on released, we will say uncrouch. Right, so now the way that our crouching will work for right now is we will have to hold the crouch button to be able to crouch, and then as soon as we release it, we will uncrouch. So if that's something that you want, awesome. But I think I'm actually going to set it up to be toggleable, right? So you don't have to hold it down the whole time, just because it'll be a little nicer that way. So to do this, we will hold Alt and click to break this link, and off of pressed, we'll drag out and say branch. All right, and we'll break this link as well to create some space. And what we want to do is we want to get our character movement, and we want to check is crouching. Alright, so if our character is crouching, right, if it's true, then we want to set it to uncrouch, right? And now if we're not crouching, we want to crouch, right? So it's kind of it's a little flip-flopped, but basically it's just kind of if you aren't crouching, then do this, otherwise do that. So we can compile and save. I guess another way you could do that is to simply use a flip-flop, and then doing it like that, right? Hooking up these two like this. But I guess I prefer doing it this way just because, you know, if you ever want to have an event that uncrouches your character, this will always ensure that you automatically, you know, the crouching states will be correct. All right. So there you go. A couple different ways you can do it based on, you know, your preferences. So compile and save. And we can go ahead and comment this out, calling it sprint. All right. Or sorry, not sprint, crouch. I'm getting ahead of myself. Next, we're going to do the sprint. All right. So the sprint's going to be a little more complicated, but I've done a previous tutorial on it. So if you want, you can go watch that. But I am going to go through it kind of quick just for the sake of time. Alright, so let's find some open space, and we're going to right click, and we're going to type sprint. Now, Unreal does not have built-in functions for this, so we will create our own. Now, first thing we want to do is get our character movement, so we'll drag that in, and off of this, we want to set max walk speed. Alright, and we'll hook up pressed to the set max walk speed, and then we can control W to duplicate this again, so that when we release it, we will set the speed back to his normal speed. Right, so now let's go check what our current speed is. So let's click character movement, and we'll go to walking, and we'll look at max walk speed. So right now it's at 600. I'm actually going to change this to 400 just so it's a little slower. So compile and save. And now the default's going to be 400. So that means whenever we release, we want to set it back to that default value, and then whenever we're pressing it, we want to set it to a value higher. So I'm going to hard code these to 600 and 400. But later on, we might change these to variables. You know, if we ever have like a skill or like a skill you can purchase with some skill points to maybe increase your sprinting speed or whatever. All right, but for now we'll just leave it like this. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drag off of here, and we are going to say set timer by event. All right, so the reason we're setting a timer is we're going to use this timer to decrease our stamina. All right, so to do this, let's drag off of the event. We'll type custom event. And I'm going to simply call this decrease stamina. And we're going to change the time to 0.05 and set it to looping. So what this is going to do is every 0.05 seconds, it's going to call this event. All right. And that might seem pretty fast, but we're only going to be taking away a little bit of stamina at a time, so that the amount decreasing on our stamina bar will be a lot more smooth versus taking away big chunks. But it's entirely up to you whether you like how you want to do it. All right, so next thing we want to do is we need to do a check. So we'll drag off, we'll say branch, and what we want to check is if our current health is below 0. Right? So as long as our current health isn't below 0, we are going to subtract some stamina, but as soon as it is, then we are going to stop running, basically. So to do this, let's drag in our current stamina, say get, and we're going to say less than or equal to. Right? So if it's less than or equal to 0, then we'll stop sprinting. But if it's not, then we'll decrease stamina. So off of false, we're going to drag out, say set stamina, or set current stamina. All right? And we want to set it to the value of our current stamina minus, so float minus float, minus some number. All right? So I'm just going to hard code this to 1. But you can make it a variable if you want, if you ever want to change it, and we might do that later as well. But again, for now, just a value of 1. So we'll compile and save, and now for true, right, we're going to simulate stopping our character from running by setting their speed back to that default value. So we can actually select this, say Control C, and then go over here and Control V to paste it. All right, and we'll hook up true, just like that. So we'll compile and save now. And the last thing we want to do for now, right here, is we're going to drag off of this return value, right? And we're going to say clear and invalidate timer by handle. Right, now it is going to hook up the node, but we don't want that, so we'll hold Alt and click to break it, and then hook this up. Alright, so basically, once we run out of stamina, it'll stop decreasing it. Alright, it'll stop decreasing our stamina by clearing that timer. Otherwise, it would just keep taking away stamina, and that's not what we want. Alright, so now we can go ahead.
Uh-huh. Excellent, Smithers. All right. So we really don't need to watch this anymore.
And create.
I found my mistake. Moving on. Your brain is hurting. Hi, how you doing? Beware of my
Hey guys, it's
bunkai.
Jackson here from Titanic Games, and
I know
today I'm
you.
going to be
I'm trying
continuing
to figure out where I know you from.
off of the previous tutorials we've been doing for the RPG game tutorial series, and we're going to be adding experience points, leveling, and like player levels and skill points, so that eventually we can add in kind of a skill point system or skill tree kind of thing and do some cool stuff with our character.
Okay.
So with that said, let's get started. Now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to open up our character blueprint. Alright, and inside here, basically
We're opening up what? Oh, just the blueprint, right? Just the thing that I've been working on for the past, I don't know how long. Anyway. Here, all right. God. All right. Here we go.
the way we're going to do this is, well,
Oh,
first we're going to
he
create a bunch of
commented
variables
it out? Wait, wait, wait,
that
wait, wait,
will
wait,
kind
wait,
of
wait, wait,
our
wait.
character blueprint. Alright, and inside here,
Oh, and he called it sprint. Okay. Let's call, we're gonna have to move stuff down. Move stuff down. Commento. We call that the sprinto. Alright. Here we go.
basically the way we're going to do this is, well, first we're going to create a bunch of variables that will kind of keep track of our experience points, our level, and our skill points, and then we're going to create a function that we'll be able to call from somewhere, like for example, say we kill an enemy, we'll be able to call the function and add experience. Or say we craft something, we'll be able to call that function and add some experience, right? So right now we're not going to be going into any like really in-depth kind of, I guess, individual like skill leveling per se. It's more of just going to be, the player's own level. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and start adding some variables. So I'm going to click add a new variable, and I'm going to call this player.
Where are you adding, sir? You're just adding, is it under attributes?
Let's go ahead and start adding some variables. So I'm going to click add a new variable, and I'm going to call this player level.
Player level. All right, here we go. All right, baby. Donate that. Donate that. Variable. Player level. Okay. All right, all right.
And we'll make that an integer. Let's add another called skill point.
Make that an integer. And make it an integer. Okay.
Points. Another called current XP.
Wait. You did something there in between there. Skill points. All right. Skill points. Skill points. Current XP. Yeah, okay. I like it like that. Okay.
And now this current XP one will be a float,
Float.
as will the next.
Current XP will be a float. Float. Okay.
One, which we will call needed XP.
Needed XP. Wow. How very freaking Japanese of you. Needed XP. And it's a float. Okay. Let's compile and save because you never know. Go.
Now, needed XP will kind of serve the same purpose as, kind of the max health or max stamina does with like our other values here,
Right.
except we're calling it needed XP just so it's a little more clear what the variable is doing, right?
Right.
Like this will be the amount of experience points you need to kind of level up, basically. All right. So now we can compile and save, and let's go ahead and create our function. All right, so we'll go to the Functions tab, and we'll press the plus,
So
and we're going
what?
to simply call.
So what now? What's doing here? Function. Okay. Variable function. All right. What are we calling the function?
Call this add XP.
Call it add XP. XP. P. Okay.
All right. And now on this function, we're going to add an input, and this is going to be called, or let's just call it amount, or we'll call it just simply added XP. All right.
Okay. I can't see that. Inputs. When you have add XP highlighted. Okay. Inputs. We call added XP. Right.
And this will be the amount of experience points that we want to add. So we'll change that to a float.
Float. Change to a float.
Compile and save, and now we're ready.
We're ready.
So how this is going to work is whenever we call this function, we are going to increase our current experience points. Okay? So let's go ahead and we'll take our current XP, or rather first let's set our default values. Alright, so player level we'll set to a value of 1. Skill points, we'll set to 1. Current XP we'll
Hold on. Player level. Level 1. Skill points 1. Current XP 0. Yeah. Um,
Leave at 0, and then needed XP. Um, we can put this at 100 for now.
Needed XP. Put that at 100. Put the wizard at 1,000.
All right, and there's a couple different ways you could really do the XP. The way we're going to do it is we are going to kind of every time you level up, we're going to multiply it by something so that it'll kind of update itself on the
Why don't we
fly.
do that?
Whereas other ways you could do it, you could create an array of different levels, I guess, and then at each level have a specified amount of XP you need. Either way really works, and I'll gladly show either way. Just let me know. But anyways, so we're going to add XP whenever we call this.
Right.
So how we're going to do this is we're going to drag off of added XP and say plus. So float plus float, and we're going to add
Plus float plus float. Okay.
the added XP to the current XP. So drag that and drop it onto the node there.
Okay. I see what you did. That. Now you're cooking with bacon. Shortcuts, baby.
And now with this value, we're going to drag off and we're going to say set current XP.
Set current XP. Set current XP.
All right. So with that addition, we are going to be, increasing our experience points. Now, the next thing we need to do.
All right. Before I forget, can't take anything for granted. I might just forget. I'm not as cute as I used to be. I mean, young. What's going on here?
Do is we need to do another branch, and we need to check if this value is greater than or equal to our needed XP.
So we branch. Okay. And needed XP. Yeah. Oh. Alright. Greater than or equal to. Okay. Yeah? Yeah?
All right, because if it is, then we know that we've reached the point where we can level up.
I did the wrong thing. Oh boy. Alright, so this is greater than or equal to.
Right, so then we can do something based off of that. So we'll take needed XP, drag it and drop it here.
And then we take the needed XP, put it right there. You go right there. Oh my goodness. I am a genius. And I mean it. Smartest guy in the room. Isn't that right, dog? Don't give me that eye.
All right. So right now, as is, this will check to see if our current XP is greater than our needed XP, which is 100.
Right.
All right. So if false, we won't do anything. All right. But if true, then we'll do some stuff. Now, what we'll do first is we'll reset the experience points. All right, and how we want to do that is, well, first let's drag off and we'll say set current XP. Okay. Now the question.
Okay. Set current XP. XP. Alright. Okay.
Question is, what do we want to set this to?
Mm-hmm.
All right, if we just set this to 0, okay, and kind of reset it that way, then that means that anything over, like any experience points we have that is over this value, will just be kind of lopped off and we won't use.
That's terrible. I don't like that.
So we want to use that value, right? Because we want to, make sure it kind of carries over from level to level. So how we'll do that is we'll take our current XP, we'll drag over here, and we'll say minus float, and we'll take our needed XP and hook that up here.
Okay, we're gonna take this, and we're gonna say minus float. Take this, right?
Okay. And then I'll just connect that up.
Connect that up. Okay.
And basically, what this is saying is, well, first, we know that if this is true, then we know that our current XP is at least equal to our needed XP. So this will always return, this subtraction will always return at least 0, which is good.
Yeah.
But now if it's anything over needed XP, right, it'll do the subtraction and then it'll set our current XP equal to however much the difference was, which is what we want.
Okay.
All right. So next from there, what we're going to do is we are going to increase our player level. How about? All right. So we'll drag off and we'll say, or actually, we will take our player level from the variables tab and drag it and drop it and say get. All right. And we will simply
player level get. We are on a roll, baby. All right.
increment int. All right.
So
This
what?
is essentially, and we will simply increment int. All right.
Okay. Increment. Int. Sounds good. All right.
This is essentially the same as doing it like a +1 and then setting the value. It's just a lot simpler this way.
Sounds
All
great.
right, so we'll do the increment there.
You connected those.
And then,
all right, which is what I thought you were going to do. And you did it. I mean, whatever.
and similarly, we'll do the same thing with the skill points. Right, because every time we level up, we're going to want to add a skill point.
Right.
So we'll say increment int.
Right. Skill pointo. Skill pointy. Get. Increment. Int. Und we will plus.
But now the only thing here is that we're probably going to want to change this to a function maybe that we could call from other things. Say like let's take for example the Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know if you guys have ever played that before, but if you find these things called sky shards, you can gain skill points that way. So you don't just have to gain them from leveling up basically.
Okay.
So what we'll do is just really simply we'll right click after selecting these and say collapse to function, and we'll call this function add
Say what now?
skill point. the Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know if you guys have ever played that before, but
Yeah.
if you find these things called sky shards, you can gain skill points that way. So you don't just have to gain them from leveling up, basically.
Right.
So what we'll do is just really simply we'll right click after selecting these and say collapse to function, and we'll call this function adding up, basically. So what we'll do is just really simply we'll right click after selecting these and say collapse to function.
All right. So right click and collapse to function. Okay. All right.
And we'll
Connect those two. Okay.
call this function add skill point.
All right. Right here. And skill point. Okay. Now you're cooking with bacon. Okay. All right. Here we go.
All right. So we'll go in here, and all it's going to do is increment our skill point, right? And you know, if we wanted, we could
What
add an
happened?
input for skill point. All right. So we'll go in here, and all it's going to do is
What did
increment
he do?
skill point. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go in here, and all
Well, did he double click on it? I mean, don't be.
it's going to do is increment our skill point, right?
What is that thing? Because I don't have it. Return node. Okay. Do I need that? I don't know if I need that. Just in case. I mean,
And you know, if we wanted, we could add an input for it of type integer, and you know, change the um, you know, have a variable here,
so,
and you know, change the increment our skill point,
mm-hmm.
right? And you know, if we wanted, we could add an input for it
Okay. Add input. Type. Yeah.
of type integer, and you know, change the um, you know, have a variable pass in, you know, for the amount that we add to our skill points, rather than just increasing it by one. But you know, either way.
Or you don't. Thanks for wasting my time. How do I get rid of it? Hmm. Dude, why aren't you... Can I just go back? That's one way to do it.
Alright, and so we will now, we'll compile and save, and we've got that function added. So we can go back to our add XP function, and we'll have, you know, this function now inside of it. So what we're going to do next, and what's the last part basically, is we need to now set the needed XP to a higher value. So to do this, we can drag off and we can say set.
So what? Sorry, I was
we need to now set the needed XP to a higher value.
Okay.
So to do this, we can drag off and we can say set.
Needed XP set.
We'll hook this up. All right, and what we're going to set it to is itself, right? So we'll get it. We'll get the value of our needed XP. We'll drag off, and for this I'm going to do a multiplication. So float times float, plug that in, and I'm going to do it by a constant of 2. So
Hey, something. 2. Okay. Stop. There's nothing to see here.
every time you level up, it'll increase by 2. All right. So, you know, really, you can do yours however you like. You know, you can devise some convoluted algorithm if you wanted to, you know, for increasing your experience points. But really, a simple multiplication or just addition will be fine, probably. All right, and so that is kind of the basics of our, you know, adding XP function. So I guess now we need to just hook it up and show it visually on the screen now. So we can go back out and we'll go to our game HUD that we made, and just like we add.
Alright, so we go back in, go to our game HUD. To our UI. Bueno, 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 bueno. Okay. Okay. Any day now, computer. Any day now. It's okay, computer. It's okay. Oh, there we go. How you doing? All right. There you go.
Added the bars for the health bar, stamina, and magic.
Yeah.
We're going to do the same for the experience. So
Experience.
we'll take a progress bar, drag it and drop it on the canvas panel.
Take a progress bar to the canvas panel. Okay.
And let's rename it to experience bar. All right, and
Renamed
we'll
it.
go ahead and we'll change the color to yellow. How about that'll be good. And then create a binding for it. Okay.
What?
So go ahead and next to percent, click create it
What? Say what now?
for the experience. So we'll take a progress bar, drag it and drop it on the canvas panel, and let's rename it to experience bar. All right, and we'll go ahead and we'll change the color to yellow. How about that'll be good.
Yellow?
And then create a binding for it. Okay, so go ahead and next to percent, click create it. Or first, actually, I forgot we need to
First of all, yellow is a terrible color for experience. Experience should be like something exciting, like purple or something. You know? Let's make it, purple. There we go. Not purple. 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 Huh? These colors look terrible, by the way. Purple. Purple. Oh, that's a nice purple. I just want a little bit lighter. Okay. Purple? Okay, what are you talking about over here?
change up some of the size values really quick. We'll set the position X to about 40, and then position Y to maybe 60, and then size, how about 400? So it'll be relatively the same as these other bars. All right.
Position
So
40.
now that we've done that, now we can go create a
What?
binding for our percent.
So what'd
Let's
you say
create the
now?
binding.
Wait,
All right.
hold on.
So it'll be relatively the same as these other bars. Binding
Mhm.
for it. Okay. So go ahead and next to percent, click create it. Or first, actually, I forgot we need to change up some of the size values really
Yeah.
quick. We'll set the position X to about 40,
Yeah.
and then position Y to maybe 60,
60.
and then size, how about 400? So it'll be relatively the same
400.
as these other bars.
Should be the
All
whole
right.
screen, but okay.
So now that we've done that, now we can go create a binding for our percent. Let's create the binding. All right, and this will create our experience bar. Now, I had already started doing some stuff, so just ignore that for now. But anyways, in our get experience bar percent, right, the binding we just created, we're going to want to get our character reference, and then from here we want to
Get your what? Character reference. That's what he said. Okay. Okay. Get. All right. Right. Oh. Stop. Calm down.
get current XP.
Get current XP. Get current XP, which is always at the bottom, right? I mean, where else would it be?
And now we want to get needed XP.
Get needed XP. You go over there. You go up there a little bit. You come get needed XP. Okay. Sounds good to me. Move it up there. Alright.
And we're going to do a simple float divided by float.
Float divided by. Float divided by. So divided by float. Right. Okay. This is like painting by numbers. this is this is the
Alright, hook
best
this up.
best game programming ever. I mean, I'm doing if I'm doing it, anybody can do it. I mean, I am a complete maroon. All right, here we go. Compile, save. Hey, what are you doing? Uh, here, have some petting. Yeah, what a good boy. All right, what a good boy. There you go. Such a good boy. Okay, don't get over here. This is where the chair meets the wall. Okay, so chill out. There you go. Vaya con Dios. All right.
Just like so. Compile and save.
Mm-hmm.
And now, um, if we go back and press play, you'll see it's up in the top left, right? But it's not full, right? Because it starts from 0. So
Mm-hmm.
of course, it's not going to be full.
All right.
So now we just need to add a way to add experience. So
Right.
let's do that really quick. We'll go to our character, and in the event graph, we're simply going to use the keyboard input. So I'll do the F key, and off of pressed.
Okay. Event graph. Oh, here we go. Is my house burning? What's going on? What's wrong with you? What's what's your deal? You okay? You all right? You want to go outside? Hold on. Hold. Oh my God. Oh gee. Oh gee. All right. Don't destroy the house. I repeat, do not destroy the house, especially with that tail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Never lying. That rearranges won't let up. All my problems. I'ma go to the same. Never want you. You know it. You know it. Never lying. Oh, come on. Oh, oh. Well, you know, if you put your clothes on backwards, it does not really help. Doesn't really help. You go in here. Okay. that Rihanna Rain just won't let up. Okay, here we go. Take 50. Oh, sorry.
We
What'd
can
you say?
a keyboard input.
Uh-huh.
So I'll do the F key.
Okay.
And quick, we'll go to our character,
Right.
and in the event graph, we're simply going to use the keyboard input. So I'll do the F key.
Okay, so uh, event graph. F key, keyboard, key. Hmm. What is going on? What did I not understand it? All right, sir. I don't get what you said. Apparently, you are.
We'll go to our character,
Uh-huh.
and in the event graph, we're simply going to use the keyboard input. So I'll do the F key, and off of pressed, we can.
Okay, I can do this. I have to be smarter than the computer. Ooh. Yes. How about keyboard? Huh? What? Why am I not? I don't get it. You are doing something that I'm not getting.
Put. So I'll do the F key.
Keyboard events. Okay. Keyboard. Keyboard events. No. How about F? F key? No. I. I'm at a loss. Input event. Yeah. Maybe he's clicking on something I don't see. All action for this blueprint.
We're simply going to use the keyboard input. So I'll do the F key.
I don't know. Key? it's not an event. What is it? F. It's like, of course, one of the most. I don't. You know, let's go to the comment section. Okay, so let's sort by newest. Character reference. XP bar filling. Maybe I'm just not seeing what he's doing. What is he doing? What are you doing? So why why do I have a whole bunch of things? Is there something maybe I can just put input? Maybe I can just put input. Input. Um, let's see what he does.
And off of pressed, we can type in add XP, right? And we'll call the function add XP. Right, and then we can add in however much experience points we want. So let's just do 25, for example.
Okay, let's do function. And XP. Can I do that? No. See. Key. Does that do it? No. Ah. Okay, let's try that again. Key event. Get key. Yes. Input. F. No? No. Am I in the right place? Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Event?
Go to our character, and in the event graph, we're simply going to use the keyboard input. So I'll do the F key, and off of pressed, we can type in add XP, right? And we'll call the function add XP, right? And then we can add in however much experience points we want. So let's just do 25, for example.
How about if we say add XP?
So I can compile and save that really quick. Now out here, if I press play, now I press my F key, you'll see in the top left it starts adding experience. So there we go. And now it looks like, it didn't do anything, but that's because we increased a level. So now you see it takes 8 times to level up, and now it's going to take 16, and now it's going to take 32, etc. Right? So every time we level up, it increases our needed XP. So let's do something else. Let's try like 33 maybe, because then we'll see the carryover a little better. So let's press play. Now if I press it 3 times, I'm almost at the the very end. I have 99 out of 100. So if I press it one more time, I'll carry over 32. So if I press it, there we go. It carried over 32. Now I can keep going. Keep adding experience. All right. And bear in mind, along with as it resets every time, I am adding a level. I'm adding a skill point, which will help us in the next tutorial. One last thing I guess I can show is that you can call that function with other things. So let's try, for example, a box trigger really quick. So I'll drag this into the level at the top of the stairs. I'm going to set actor hidden in game to false, just so you can see it in the game. And then with it selected, we'll go to the blueprints, open level blueprint, and I'll right click and add event on trigger box. So I'll go to collision and say add on actor begin overlap. So this will fire whenever we overlap with the trigger box. And for other actor, we will cast to my character, so ch my character. And now as the character, we can call that function. So we'll drag off and we'll say add XP. And let's add 70, how about? So we'll add a bunch. Alright. So now if I press play really quick, I run up here, and we're watching our bar. I step over, boom, it just added 70 to me. So I can walk over it again, add 70, etc. Right? So anyways, there's kind of the basics, of setting up the experience and leveling system. I guess in the next tutorial we're going to go over more of the the skill tree and setting that up, and then adding skills and such. So thank you for watching, and if you like the video, like or subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
Well, they both kind of hurt. So.
Hey guys, it's Jackson here from Titanic Games, and today I'm going to be continuing on with our RPG game tutorial series, and we're going to be diving into setting up our skill tree, yeah, doing that. So this is going to be part 1 of a 2-part video. This first part's going to be more focused on kind of just getting the UI set up, maybe a little bit of functionality, but the second part will be more going into the actual functionality and setting up, I guess, some of the skill stuff.
Right.
But anyways, with that, let's get started.
Let's get started.
So first thing we're going to do is let's go into our UI folder. And in here, we are going to right-click, go to user interface, and we're going to create a widget blueprint. Now,
so let's go here, UI folder, and create widget blueprint. What? Where was it? Blueprints. Create. What? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
the UI set up, maybe a little bit of functionality, but the second part will be more going into the actual functionality and setting up, I guess, some of the skill stuff. But anyways, with that, let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is let's go into our UI folder, and in here we are going to right click, go to user interface, and we're going to create a widget blueprint. Now we'll call this UI.
Okay. User interface. User interface. Create widget blueprint. Okay, and we're gonna call it
I skill tree.
What happened?
And in here we are going to right click, go to user interface, and we're going to create a widget blueprint. Now we'll call this UI skill tree. Alright, and we can open that up.
UI skill. Oh, come on. UI skill tree. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Now, by default, we're going to have a canvas panel, and that's fine. Let's go ahead, though, and add a vertical box, right? So you can search for that, and drag it and drop it right onto the canvas panel. Now, with that selected,
Vertical box.
we are going to anchor it to the center of the screen, right?
Center.
And now we can set position X and Y to 0.
Center of the screen. 0, 0. Okay.
We'll change the alignment to both 0.5 so it centers it.
The alignment to 0.5. 0.5. Okay.
And then we'll adjust the size to maybe, how about like 1,000 by 900.
3 by 9. Alright. What do I get?
That'll make it kind of a good shape, I guess. Alright, next we're going to add another canvas panel, but this time it'll be inside the vertical box. And the reason for
a canvas panel inside of the vertical box. Okay.
this is so we can actually anchor widgets within the vertical box, so that like they'll always maintain their relative position, which
Relative
will be
position.
helpful.
How did I know you were going to say?
Anyways, let's with the canvas panel selected, let's set it to fill, so it fills the entire vertical box. Right. Next, we're going to add an image. and this will kind of be the background
Wait, what?
of our skill tree
Hold on.
position, which will be helpful. So anyways, let's, with the canvas panel selected, let's set it to fill. So it fills
With the canvas panel selected, we set to fill. Okay. What do you so
the
far?
entire vertical box. Right. Next, we're going to add an image, and this will kind of be the background of our skill tree. So we'll drag that and drop it onto the canvas panel.
Image into the canvas panel. Yeah, that's exactly. Stop! Whoop! Oh my God! Yeah, just chill out. Okay.
Right. And we're going to anchor this to the full size of the canvas panel. So choose that one.
And we're going to anchor. Oh, the image to the full size of the canvas panel. Okay.
Set its offsets to 0 so it fills the whole thing.
Offsets to offset. It is on 0, huh? I'm not seeing something.
Next, we're going to add an image, and this will kind of be the background of our skill tree. So we'll drag that and drop it onto the canvas panel. Right. And we're going to anchor this to the full size of the canvas panel. So choose that one. Set its offsets to 0 so it fills the whole thing.
Offset right,
And now
offset bottom. That's a funny. Okay.
I'm going to change the brush appearance here. If you have like an image, you could choose an image, but I'm just going to change the tint for right now. I'm going to make it like a black, just a black color with maybe a bit of a see-through kind of look. So I'll set the trends, or the alpha, which is kind of the opacity, to 0.85. So it'll be a little see-through.
What's 0.85? Oh, okay. So, black. This is 0.85. Alright.
All right. So with that done, now let's go ahead and we're actually going to add like a little button that'll allow us to close the skill tree, and then some text to kind of show how much skill points we have, and then we'll get into the buttons and like kind of the skills, I guess. So first thing, let's find a button. All right, we'll take this button, drag it in, drop it on the canvas panel.
On the canvas panel.
Right, not the image. It can't go on the image. So we'll drop it there.
Okay. Hit the button. Button on canvas. Button. It goes in the canvas panel. Oh. Thank you.
And we'll name this close button, because this will be, for closing the
Close button. Alright.
skill tree. All right, next let's go ahead and grab a text widget and drop it onto the button. So
Text. We'll drop it on the button. Okay. Okay.
So it'll be, inside on the button. And then with the button selected now, we're going to click size to content. This way it'll automatically adjust its size to fill the, or to the size of our text. Now we're going to click size to content. This way it'll automatically adjust its size to on the button. And then with the button selected now, we're going to click size to content.
All right.
This way it'll automatically adjust its size to fill.
Do we have that anymore? I don't think we have that anymore. Because that would be right under justification. No?
Inside on the button. And then with the button selected now, we're going to click size to content.
Appearance. Color and mm, we do not have that anymore. Is what? What is this? Can I have some mouse overs? I mean, come on. No, that didn't help either. I have no idea. Oh, you. Rock is like fashion, yeah. Till I go into the stage, stop, and I'm now. Okay. Hey, yay! Woo! No. Uh, no. No. Yeah. Yeah. Makes perfect sense. Behavior is enabled. I have no idea. We'll just see what you're doing.
This way it'll automatically adjust its size to fill the, or to the size of our text. Alright, so now with the text selected, let's go to text, and we're going to call this simply close. Alright, And now we need to move, adjust the button to where we want it to be. So I'm going to have it be in the bottom center, right? So we'll click anchors, go to bottom center. Now we can change the positions, and I'm going to change the alignment X to 0.5 so it's centered. And now I'm going to change position Y to -60. So it'll be, just a little bit off the bottom there. All right. So that's
No.
perfect. Adjust the button to where we want it to be. So I'm going to have it be in the bottom center, right? So we'll click anchors, go to bottom center. Now we can change the positions, and I'm going to change the alignment X to 0.5 so it's centered. And now I'm
What?
going to change
Oh, I have
position
no
Y
idea
to
what you're
negative. Go ahead and grab a text widget and drop it onto the button. So it'll be, inside on the button. And then with the button selected now, we're going to click size to content. This way it'll automatically adjust its size to to the size of our text. All right, so now with the text selected, let's go to text, and we're going to call this simply close. All right.
Go to text. To give
Right.
dimensions.
And now we need to move, adjust the button to where we want it to be. So I'm going to have it be in the bottom center, right? So we'll click anchors, go to bottom center.
Button. Bottom center.
Now we can change the positions, and I'm going to change the alignment X to 0.5 so it's centered. And now I'm going to change position Y to -60. So it'll be, and I'm going to change the alignment X to 0.5. So move, adjust the button to where we want it to be. So I'm going to have it be in the bottom center, right? So we'll click anchors, go to bottom center. Now we can change the positions, and I'm going to change the alignment X to 0.5 so it's centered. And now I'm going to change position Y to -60. So it'll be
Position Y to -60. Oh, that's 0. This is -60. This is 0.5. Okay.
just a little bit off the bottom there. All right. So that's perfect. Next, we're going to add the part that'll.
It's perfect, huh? Hmm. Hmm. How about 3? Hey, I'm getting somewhere. Uh, or maybe I need to... No, that doesn't do it. Wait, what? That does nothing. Uh, that's... I just can't... Close enough for a hand grenades or something, or I don't know, whatever. Whatever they say. How about the box itself, the button itself, needs to be... No, that doesn't do it. I don't know what to... I don't know. What is this? I don't know. Anyway.
Showcase our skill points, right? So we'll add a text onto the canvas panel once again, right? So there it is. We'll say size to content again, so it'll adjust its size to whatever we have in the text block. All right, and then we'll anchor this to the bottom left this time. You can change that.
Okay. So we're going to do text to the canvas panel.
And I'm actually going to leave the alignments as is, and we'll say position Y can be -60. Then we'll anchor this to the bottom left panel once again. Right, so there it is. We'll say size to content again, so it'll adjust its size to whatever we have in the text block. All right, and then we'll anchor this to the bottom left this time.
Okay. You are anchored to the bottom left. Okay. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever.
You can change that. And I'm actually going to leave the alignments as is, and we'll say position Y can be -60, and position X could be 20, for example.
20 minus 60. So 20 minus 60.
So it'll be in line with the button now, and it'll be a little off of the side. Now we're not actually going to set the text manually. We'll do it another way. So let's go ahead and name this. Let's call it skill point text, and change it to a variable. That way we can edit it.
Skill point text. Text. And it is a variable. Oh.
In a little bit. All right. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually add some of our skills, I guess. So these are going to be some very basic skills. I mean, they're not really going to be skills per se. They'll be more of just upgrades, I guess. But the concepts will be able to apply to any kind of skills that we want to do later in the game. So for right now, I'm going to simply take a button, drag it onto the canvas panel again. All right, so here it is. And I'm going to take a text and drag it onto the button, right? And now,
Alright, so I'm going to do this fiasco again. Button. Take it to the canvas panel. Take text. Drive it onto the button. Okay.
size to content again, just like that. All right, and there we go. So we've got our button ready. Now, what are we going to call this skill, right? So I'm gonna just start with doing, like, I guess some basic health improvements. Okay. So for this first one, this will be like the basic improvement. We'll just call this improved health, just like that. All right.
Improved health. He actually typed it out. I don't know if that's any better. What? What's going on? Improved health.
And I'm going to set the justification to center, and I'm going to set auto wrap to true, so that it'll automatically wrap itself.
I don't have auto wrap and all that stuff. Oh, justification and center, margin 0, line height 1. If this is enabled, text shaping, wrapping, justification are disabled in favor of much faster text layout and measurement. This feature is only suitable for simple text, i.e. text containing only numbers of basic ASCII, as it disables the complex text rendering, blah blah blah. It is significantly faster for text that can take advantage of it, particularly, but shouldn't be used for localization user-facing text. From being cached. If this widget changes every frame, but you want it to still be in an invalidation panel, you should make it as volatile instead of wrapping auto-wrap text. Okay. Tooltip, render transformation, clipping, navigation. Okay, so was this one better? No. Where's the closed one? Where's this one? Did that do anything? It does nothing. That does nothing. What, 0? About 0? No? Three? Four? One? But 0 does something? I don't know. I am. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, back to this. Improved health. So we talked about all of this stuff over where?
Around, which might be helpful. You can play around with it and get the kind of look and feel you're going for. Alright, now with the button, we're going to want to rename this to true so that it'll automatically wrap itself around, which might be helpful. You can play around with it and get the kind of look and feel you're going for. Alright, now with the button, we're going to want to rename this, and I'm going to call this simply IH, which stands for Improved Health.
H. Okay.
All right, and that's just to help us, know which button does what. Um, so yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and change the anchor of this. So we're going to anchor it to the center now, and I'll set it to 0, 0. Maybe align it a little bit better. All right.
0, 0. Oops. What?
And now what we can do is, well, we'll offset it down here a little bit so that we can have better improvements.
Yeah. And you're in the center. Okay. Huh.
It's higher up. Okay, so we'll just do that really quick. I'll say maybe negative 120, or sorry, positive 120. Okay, we'll be down there. Let's go ahead and we can actually select the whole button, right, and say Control C, and then click on the canvas panel and do Control V, and it'll add it again up there. And we'll do that one more time. So now we've got two new buttons. All right. Now this second one here we'll call AH. All right, because this will be advanced health. All right, so we'll change the text content here to be advanced.
Okay, so copy, paste, paste. No? Okay, so what?
Health, just like that. And then for this one, for the last one, I guess, we'll call this SH for superior health, I guess. So we'll change the text again, just like that. Right, now we'll just make sure that these are lined up correctly. Okay.
Hmm. Superior. Okay.
So we'll select first AH, and we want it to kind of be in the center, I guess. So we'll say 0, 0, and it'll be center aligned just like that.
Yeah.
Now with superior health selected, we can go ahead
Wait, what?
and
Oh,
select the button, and we'll set it to 0, 0 again. But now this time, we'll set its position Y to -120, so it's above there.
oh, I forgot the part where.
Sorry, +120. Okay, will be down there. Let's go ahead and we can actually select the whole button, right, and say Control C, and then click on the canvas panel and do Control V, and it'll add it again up there. And we'll do that one more time. So now we've got 2 new buttons. All right. Now this second one here we'll call AH. All right, because this will be advanced health. All right, so we'll change the text content here to be advanced health, just like that. And then for this one, for the last one, I guess, we'll call this SH for superior health, I guess. So we'll change the text again, just like that. Right, now we'll just make sure that these are lined up correctly. Okay, so we'll select first AH, and we want it to kind of be in the center, I guess. So we'll say 0, 0, and it'll be center aligned just like that. Now with superior health selected, we can go ahead and select the button, and we'll set it to 0, 0 again. But now this time, we'll set its position Y to -120, so it's above there. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is let's actually get this showing up on the screen really quick. Okay, so we'll go back to the editor, and we'll click on our character, and we'll say edit my character. Right, so we'll go into the blueprint, and you should recognize some of this, because we've already done a couple tutorials now. But anyways, just find some open space, and we're going to create the skill tree when we press a button. And selected, we can go ahead and select the button, and we'll set it to 0, 0 again. But now this time, we'll set its position Y to -120, so it's above there. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is let's actually get this showing up on the screen really quick. Okay, so we'll go back to the editor, and we'll click on our character, and we'll say edit my character. Right, so we'll go into the blueprint, and you should recognize some of this, because we've already done a couple tutorials now. But anyways, just find some open space, and we're going to create the skill tree when we press a button. So the button I'm going to choose is simply T. So you can choose any button that works for you, but I'm going to choose T. And then whenever we press it, we want to create a widget. The widget to create, so we'll set class, and we'll say skill tree. Right, so we'll create our skill tree when we press T, and then we will add.
Hmm. Okay. Fantastic. So Okay. No, I have that set. What is going on? Mm. Okay, then I don't know. Why isn't the other stuff working? This makes no sense. Oh, here's chat. It doesn't work. Okay, I'm confused.
So it's seeing the camera. But it's not taking the damn picture. No BBTV commands work for you? What do you mean, Shaka? And welcome to the stream, by the way. Ooh, wow. The camera got real dark. I didn't realize this. Give me a second. What tutorial are you following? Yes, I'm fixing the camera still. Give me a second. My lights are on, actually. However, I'm going to turn on the extra light I have. It's really washed me out, but it's gotten rid of the issues. Okay, there we go. I don't know this tutorial series. Give me a second. I'm assuming you're doing the RPG series. Alright, where in there are you looking for? So far, everything I see here is normal. I mean, what is B? What time? What time did you have the issue? There's nothing I'm seeing so far that's bouncing through here. 337. So, hey, Owenator, yeah, Owenator, what you're hearing is a loose cable randomly bouncing against the fan because I bumped into my computer during the middle of the stream, so it's deciding to make noise. Joys of accidentally hitting my computer midstream. Cut the red wire. Unfortunately, it's the one of the cables for my fan that's hitting the fan. Let me see if I can do something about it. So, a lot of those commands still exist, actually. Give me 1 second. Let me see quite literally what he's doing. But also, let me see if I can get this cable without having to turn my computer off. Bye. Ow. Alright, that's going there for a second. Yes, that was part of my case you just saw go by the screen. Well, that's the best I can do without turning my computer off. Alright. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it was that loud you guys could hear that. So, let me just watch what he does here. Alright, all so far is things already included. He's just changing the positions. Change the alignment to 0.5. Yep. He's going to raise that by 30 at the very least, or double it, so negative 60. Okay. Size to content still around. Charlie, stop. Charlie. That's still about. Yeah, size of content's still there, dude. So, let me just pop open the editor real quick. Let's go into a widget. So we have a widget here. I got a text block. Let's just drag it into here. He anchored it to the bottom corner. Size to content. Let me get the YouTube window back open so I can actually see what he did. He changed that to 0. That to 0. That's at 30. That's at 1. Hang on one second. Let me just catch up to the video. That was 100. And he moved it to 20 by negative 60 by 100. Yeah, so far everything that he's done is in there. Oh, that's easy. Close that out. Grab a button. There's our button. Grab the text. Drag the text into the button. Click the button. Button, size to content. This is the newest version of UE4, so if you're missing this, there is something wrong with the install. Which does happen to some people. I've never heard of people missing this. But sometimes, if core features are missing, you need to reinstall UE4. But I would double check that, one, it's properly inside the button. Because if I add in another button, let me just grab one. Boom. And there's no content there, that's not going to do anything. It's just going to make the button go small. And then we have fill this way as well. So you size the parent to the content. So the button gets sized to the content. The content is the text, the parent is the button. So you size the parent to the content. Let me just rewind this video a tiny bit. So in the video, he drags a button in. puts it in the canvas panel, not on the image, but in the canvas panel. I'm sure he's rambling about that. He renames it. We're going to just go through this slowly, I guess, because it's really weird watching a tutorial without anything. He gets a text item. He puts it inside the button. He still has the button selected at this point. He hasn't deselected it. He sizes the button to content. He then switches to the text inside the button to rename it and to retext it. The number of times when I was working on this stuff that I would miss little things is shocking. Like, it's always those little things you miss. What really sucks, and I had this happen to somebody in my tutorial series. He said to me, you know, I can't find this. Where'd you get it? And I'm like, that's core content. If you actually can't find it, do these steps. And you tell me if you can't find it, still goes, I can't find it. I'm like, yeah, you need to reinstall UE4. And he goes, huh, I reinstalled it. I found it. Shit, I've been skipping a whole bunch of tutorials from other people because I thought it was just something I didn't have. And it's like, yeah, no, you didn't have it. You should have. It's one of the included features. But that's like the only time I've seen that, and that was like with one of the core content features. But yeah, the number of times I've sat doing a tutorial and just gone, what the fuck am I missing? And it's always that little thing. Check your inheritance on your camera and controller rotations. Yeah, I would recommend, and this is going to be a little bit cruel of me, but I would recommend that you just try changing them around. So if you look at your... Let me just open up my character for a second to show you what I'm talking about. So if I go to my player here and open my character up, and I type in inherit, I'm going to type in controller instead. If I type in controller, mess with these. Try it on the character mesh and camera as well. See what happens, because each one of these you're going to want to use differently for different things. So I can't tell you which one you're going to want to set up and how you're going to want to set it up. This is what I need to use for first-person shooters. But depending on how you set things up, you're going to have a different layout to that. That was you, Madman? Sorry, I didn't realize that was you. I'm honestly shit with names in the comments. On the Discord, I'll remember your name. On Twitch, I'll remember your name. On comments on YouTube, nope, I'll forget until like a random moment. Which, have I closed the tab? No, I've closed the tab. Give me a second. Ah! Alright, let me go back. Which video? Ooh, shit on a stick. Which video was it? Oh, wait, wrong one. Why do I feel like I know this YouTube channel? Charlie, stop licking the cut. I'm going to minimize that for a minute. I'm also behind on responding to my comments. Alright, you know what? I'm getting a little bit pissed off trying to get this icon shit to work. So, what we're going to do is we are going to... No, you're not bothering me. Dude, you're not bothering me. This is pissing me off. This is... The thing I'm working on isn't working correctly. And I can't figure out for the life of me why. I'm not a graphics person, and it's a graphics issue. So it's not in my wheelhouse. Now, your thing. What YouTube video was it you were looking at, Shaka? But since what I'm currently working on is pissing me off, I'm going to switch over to the next thing on this thing. Yeah, I don't care if it saves or not. It's not working right. Alright, there we go. Just want to make sure that still worked.
Hey guys, it's Jackson here from Titanic Games. Whatever the reset, so we can go ahead and close the project settings and just hit save just for safety. All right, now we are going to create our own character now. There is this character in the game, but we're going to create our own and just.
Alright, so what we're going to do is just add the weapons in. Video 1, moment 313. Alright, let me pop that open. Video 1. I'll use Monday.com when my head explodes. I feel like I know that picture from something. He hasn't done anything yet. Okay, he's imported the mesh. Alright. If I suddenly run off camera, something's on fire. Just FYI. So he's rotated the mesh so it's facing that arrow. He's adding the boom arm for the camera, which will add a camera to the end of it in a second. He didn't put the camera onto the boom arm correctly. So he's going to move it in a moment now. There we go. He's going to rotate the boom arm to bring the camera above the person. He's taking his damn sweet time about doing it. Okay, so what you do when you put the mesh in is you just hit, I think it's S or spacebar once, and then you just move the character till his face is pointing in the direction of that arrow. That arrow just indicates where the front of the collision capsule is. Also, that's a really out-of-date way of doing what he's doing. I don't know why he did that way, but okay. Oh, he's doing everything here instead of using the player controller. Got it. It would mean he wouldn't rotate correctly, that's all. So, let me just pause this. Let's open my character back up for a second. So, when we look at Manny the mannequin, our Manny the mannequin is currently facing that arrow. I'm going to rotate him so he's facing the wrong direction. I'm going to rotate him back to the default direction. So now he's facing to the right. I hit compile. I hit play. I walk forward. I'm still going to move forward because that's where the camera is facing. But you notice he's actually walking sideways. You can see from his shoulder that he's walking sideways. I hold the left key, he goes forward. I hold the back key, he goes that way. That's actually really confusing because I could not figure out what direction I was facing. There we go, compile. Switch it back to the correct direction. I'm holding W, he goes forward. So I'm holding S, he goes back. Right, left. The animation there is really naff, but okay. Give me a second. I'll see what sort of weapons I have in here. Well, then it has to be some rotation, right? Most likely, it's going to be a rotation issue. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create an empty, I'm going to create the parent class, which will be my BP base weapon. I have to say, doing an RPG is really complex. Getting all the stuff correct is a bit of a, bit of a business. Let's put it that way. Yeah, you still play Fallout 76, though. Come on. You and me were playing together. We found the roof that had the fucking misaligned tiles. We had the door that opened onto a brick wall. I mean, come on, dude. You still play it. Alright. So I'm just making references to my inventory index so I know where it's at in my inventory. And we need to be able to edit this and expose on spawn. I'm going to give you a hard time about that. You know what, dude? If you want to play a game together, you can wing up with me and you can join me in Elite Dangerous. How's that sound? It's, it can be really boring and really exciting. It's... Also, I would recommend watching tutorials on how to fly. I will admit I am better flying with a controller than I am with an actual Joy-Con system. I have a HOTAS system meant for it. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can hunt down the picture of my HOTAS layout even. Ah! Ignore that. MK and KB. I'm not sure I know that one. What's it like mouse and keyboard? Oh, okay, sorry. I'm being stupid apparently. Not doable. I mean, you could, but it would be the most painful thing in the fucking world. You either need a controller or this. This is my layout on my system, and I still don't have it fully mapped out yet. Hello, Ogden. Welcome to the chat. I haven't played PlanetSide 2, but I've heard a lot of positive things about it. Please note that that was in quotes and very sarcastic on the positive things. How are you doing today, by the way, Shaka and Ogdim? Okay, so we need a attach socket. Seriously, fucking autosave. By the way, I swear a shit ton. I apologize in advance. Ooh, he did this thing where he did. Okay, let's click F and put up function F, and literally brought up a blueprint that had the F key. Oh, so yeah, what he's doing, by the way, you shouldn't do it that way. What you should do is go into your project settings, go to input, and if it's an action, if it's something like opening inventory, do it in here. If it's something like movement, do it down here. Name the thing, so like opening your menu. I don't have a menu yet, so I have an inventory. Opening your inventory. If you hit I, or that button on a controller, it will open the inventory. So if I go to play, hit I, there's my inventory. If I go into my player controller, where the fuck did I put that? Again, part of my language. There is that I button right there. Yep. Whereas you can rebind these keys. If I want to create a setting where someone can rebind these keys, I can do so. If it's hard-coded into the blueprint, you cannot change it. Oh, yeah, no, that's debugging. Yeah, you can do that. When you're debugging shit, always use keys like that because you delete them at the end. So, for example, do I have the RTS open still? Yeah. So here, in the RTS, I have a couple of keys that are hard-coded. V will spawn in characters, and B will spawn in vehicles. But once we finish this system, there's that unit coming out there. Once that system is completely finished, I'm going to get rid of the V key because I don't need it anymore. I'll have a way to spawn in units in-game. Ah! Sorry, I just moved to the other window and it did something weird. Oh, sweet Christ. Minimize. I'll do it for some things, or I'll create a custom cheat blueprint. Oh no, you can put it in. So what you do, you can do it the way he's doing it. It's just not what I would do for most controls. So let's go into my player controller here for a second. Go down here, and I'm going to type in F, and then I'm going to just scroll to the top to make my life a lot easier. Ah, damn it. I'm going to scroll to the top to make my life a lot easier, and I'm just going to close out things. What I'm looking for is keyboard events. What the hell are keyboard events? Input. So it's under input. We have gamepad events, keyboard events, F keys at the top. Really? You can do it that way? Hang on. Let me redo that. Huh. God damn it. I have spent hours of my life digging through this thing when I want to put a debug in just to find the fucking key. How the fuck did I not know I could get the word key after? God fucking damn it. Yeah, that happens a lot on this channel, logged in, by the way. I do it in the tutorial series even. I go, scroll through to find the key. Sorry, I am mocking myself. I will take the piss out of myself at every fucking opportunity. I'll also take the piss out of Bao Chicka Wawa when I can, too. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, fuck me. I'm annoyed that I didn't know I could do that. Fuck. Alright. I hate you and the tutorial guy because it worked for us. Welcome to dev work. It doesn't work 90% of the time, and when it does work, it is working. It was working in the 90% it wasn't. That's all you gotta know. Just remember that. All right. Now we need my weapon. Weapon type. I'm having a hard time typing today. Jesus Christ. Weapon type. Trust me, I think I've typed in key before and had to find it. I've been there. Just remember, it doesn't work when no one's looking. It does work when everyone's looking. Unless you want it to work, in which case it works when you're looking and doesn't work when other people are looking. They've added a lot more things into the nodes. So I've noticed that in older tutorials, when they want debug keys like that, they just type in the key letter and they get it right away. I was trying it for V and C originally. Alright, now that we have an actor, we can actually reference this thing properly. And we want the class reference. Because we're going to be making children. We're going to spawn children today, my lovelies. Alright, I'll have to crack cocaine. I mean, there's probably several hundred between where you're at and where I'm at. Yeah, I'm in England. So is Chaika. We're all in England. Everyone in this room is in England, even if they aren't in England. Chika wow wow. Bao Chika wow wow. So, is the location or rotation of the details panel relative or world? It depends on what you're looking at it. Okay, Brandy. There. Better. I'm gonna mess up your real name, too. You know what? You're not... you know what? You can't complain that I'm saying Chica when you miss the bow on the name. Eat me. Eat me, Chaika. I think I called you Chaika a few times. That's why I enjoy calling him Chica. So, yes, it's relative. But, If it's a component, it is relative, Evo stream. But it's relative and not relative. So, what I mean is, let me just pop something open here. We have the third-person character right there. I open him up. I go to my details panel. I select the camera. This is relative to the mesh. Or to the root component. I open up the character in here, and I go to my viewport, and I select the camera. You notice the numbers are the same, but these are actually world, so to speak, because this is the world. So when you add in, say, a spring arm component and attach the camera to that, the camera then will take on relative to the spring arm. Just be mindful of that. My camera is right on him, so that I'm seeing from his body. Yes, I still want to run. I know there's an error. So that's why the camera is there. I can see his body. I can get the legs. I can see the hands. I can see all that fun jazz. By the way, also, Evo Stream, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Also, what was the game instance? Where the fuck is my game instance? I don't have it open. Settings, game instance. Oh, whoa, what the fuck? Okay, hang on, that's not right. Okay, there we go. Thought I fixed that earlier. Control S save. Oh, everyone has a different way they do their cameras. I'm doing mine for a first-person shooter. If you're doing an RPG, it depends. Are you fixed to one character? Are you fixed to the camera being able to move around the world on its own? It depends. But is it third-person fixed to the character or third-person fixed to the world? So, for example, just bring this back over here for a second. I'm third-person fixed to the world. I'm fixed to that little floating sphere right there that I'm using for debugging. There's a third-person character I can move around. Do what he's doing. Use the spring arm. I am not using a spring arm because I am literally just attached to the character. I will be adding in a third-person camera that will be in a spring arm and somewhere up there in a little bit. This template is not for the marketplace. This is just what I'm doing for fun. I've never actually made a first-person shooter from scratch. I'm just seeing what I can get away with and what I can do. When I do one for the marketplace, it will be probably vastly different than what I'm doing here, because I'm going to work out the kinks. What I'm currently working on for the marketplace is a isometric, well, it's not going to be isometric in the end, I decided, but I'm working on an RPG template. I'll get a voice actor to do some voiceover stuff. I actually already have a guy in mind for that. Spoken to him a few times in person. It will have a skill tree system, fog of war, leveling up, things like that. Shaka, check again. Inherit controller rotations.
Play with those to see if you're inheriting a controller rotation that isn't rotating. And can you make a high-res, unreplicated version of your point of view and then replicate a lower res for everyone else if it's networked? You know, Ogdim, I honestly don't know. In theory, yes. I just don't know if it's something that's easily done in UE4. Because when you do a lot of like multiplayer first-person shooters, what you actually are two arms on your camera. You get the first-person arms, and then everyone else gets a third-person view of you. Yeah, but I'm thinking, yeah, render cameras do picture-in-picture, and they can actually eat up a lot of resources really quickly. But if he's thinking about it that way, like if you're just rendering the picture, even if it's a moving picture somewhere else, yes, that would work. But I'm thinking if you want like a world camera and you're doing a spectator view or something. I could be overthinking it though. God only knows that I am probably. But these things, they happen. Alright. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our weapons. Sorry, I got confused what I was doing for a second. No, not in character movement. So if you're in your player character, in my case, go to your root, BP player character, whatever you have at the top. Type in rotation, and you have these sort of options here. Play with these, see what comes up. Do be mindful, though, the more 2D captures you do, the more resources you eat up. So it's very easy to suddenly have a 4K worth of resolution and lower your frame rates massively when you have a whole bunch of lowly rendered 2D videos. As I said, there's a great Reddit post on it. Alright, so we're going to create a child, and we will do our melee weapon first. Just pop this bad boy open. And, boom. Okay. There we go. We aren't replicating. Why do we have the shit? What the shit? We're not replicating. Why do we... Oh, yeah, we're inheriting it from actor. Duh. Wait. Isn't there a way to only see inherited from the parent? Alright, I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, so... we're going to change this weapon type to melee. Yep, it's already there. That's a default. Controller. So check user controller rotation. Play around with works. And whilst we do that, I am going to go back to my player character, actually. And, no, I need to go into my character here. Meshes, mannequin, mesh, skeletal mesh. Alright, we're going to test if this actually works. Give me 1 second. Hand are all lowercase. Okay. And we'll even give this a mesh. Let's go back into here. Go to our weapons, meshes, knife. And we want the SM knife, I think. See what comes out when we do this. We could get something that works. We could get something that doesn't work. Let's type in the word knife and see what our options are. Ooh. Okay. Let's test this. Is actually open the right thing up. We need to open up our skeleton. Hello, Mr. Skeleton. Mr. Skeleton, you're going to be useful for what we're about to do. This would have been easy to find what I was looking for earlier. There we go. Alright. So, oh wait, hang on, no wait, that's not what I need to name it. I need to create the socket name. Yeah, hang on, let me just get this in the right order. This will be knife, hand, R. It should be a child to the capsule component. I'm just going to my inventory for a second. Where the hell is it? My game instance. It's in my game instance. There it is. Wait, I skipped a step. I'm gonna go with what Chaika Wawa said there. GitHub is useful. Yes, I am a knob, but please spell knob right. There's a K in it. Knob. Try setting the ones that aren't set and desetting the ones that are. Or set the ones that aren't set, deset the ones that are. See what happens. There'll be some you want set and some you don't. It's finding the right combination for what you're doing. Try setting the bottom two ones. Okay, I think I'm a little bit frustrated from earlier because I am feeling tired of staring at this particular project. I've also been streaming this particular project now today for... Oh, bitch. It's been recording. Instead of just streaming. I've been streaming this project for about 4.5 hours now. I've completed the inventory system for the most part. You know, got that working. So what we're going to do is some easy stuff that I'm just going to be... Yeah. Let's just do easy stuff. We're going to add a spring arm in. Which will be our camera boom. We're going to rename this camera as camera FPP. Suck it! Add a camera to that. TPP. Don't want auto activate on that one. I do want the bounce because I like torturing people like that. And I'm going to use a debug key to test something just to, you know, test it. Chikabob. Or no, Chikabob. It's Chikabob from this point forward. Hey, Chikabob, your trick of typing in key didn't work. You've lied to me. You hate us all? Don't worry, the feeling's mutual, British boy. Yeah, well, I blame you when things don't work, okay? Get over it. Yeah, play your match. That's not what I wanted, but you know what? I'll take it. Oh, the hell's the thing I'm looking for? Go back to my cameras.
Oh, if I love you as a promise. Okay.
Yeah, auto-activate, isn't it? God, that camera's bouncing a shit ton more than I thought it was going to with that spring arm there. Whoops. We'll play with it a bit, see what happens. Wait, no. You know what, we'll test this. I'm not sure that's the right function I'm looking for, but you know what? Also, that wouldn't work because the other camera's still active.